Hey guys, Jason from CrossFit Rife coming back at you with more fitness. For today's workout, we're gonna do something a little bit different. In CrossFit, we have workouts that are described as EMOMs. Think of that as every minute on the minute. For these workouts, there's a fixed amount of work. We've got about a minute worth of time to get that done, and then we're gonna restart that every 60 seconds or so. So we're gonna have a little spin on that workout today, but this one's gonna look like every 3 minutes, we're gonna restart the cycle. So for today's workout, every 3 minutes, we're gonna restart the work. We should be getting some rest in there. So for today, the workout is gonna be 18 minutes long, and what that's gonna look like is every 3 minutes, we're gonna do 20 lunges into 15 toes to bar, and then finish with 10 sandbag cleans. So in that 18 minutes, we're gonna get a total of 6 rounds. Now, for the lunges, these are just gonna be body weight lunges. Typically, we would ask our athletes to lunge backwards because this mimics walking more so than lunging forward. However, if you wanna lunge forward, that's totally fine. For the toes to bar, there's a lot of different variations. We can do a full range toes to bar. We can reduce the range of motion for the toes to bar. We can do hanging knee raises, or we could just lay ourselves down on the floor and do a lying leg raise. Now, for the sandbag clean, if you've got access to an odd object, we want to use that. It's just going to be from the ground to the shoulder to get that rep in. If you don't have access to a sandbag or potentially an odd object, maybe a backpack or something like that, what you could do is you could just replace this with a barbell and just do a power clean. The minimum amount of equipment that you'll need for today is a sandbag, but if you've got a pull-up bar, that'll be the other piece of equipment that we'll use for today. Now, let's take a look at the movements for today. Training with odd objects can be a great addition to any athlete's toolkit. This athlete is using a sandbag to take from the floor to the shoulder position. Anything would do in this scenario, whether it be a sandbag or having access to potentially a bag that is just loaded with objects. The idea is to take something from the floor that is slightly awkward. Athletes should focus on neutral spine and keeping the arms long. Lunges are a fantastic body weight tool that can be done anywhere. Lunges can be done in the reverse or the forward direction. Doing lunges in the reverse direction more closely mimic walking, but athletes can do this in either direction, forward or backward, depending on which variation they feel most comfortable with. Athletes should keep the torso upright and the forward foot should be flat on the floor. Toes to bar are a staple gymnastics movement within CrossFit. They simultaneously train both midline stabilization as well as coordination and accuracy. If athletes are struggling with toes to bar, they can reduce the range of motion. The idea is to keep the lever of the torso and the legs as long as possible to increase the difficulty level. Athletes should focus on pressing down with the arms and trying to pull the feet at least above the waist. Knees to elbow are a great substitution for toes to bar. The athlete should focus on pulling the knees above the waistline while pressing down with the hands as they pull the knees up. If the kip swing is not an option, the athletes can do this variation as well as toes to bar with a strict variation, simply pulling the knees or the feet as high as they can. If hanging from a pull-up bar is not an option, athletes can still get the same function by doing a lying leg raise. The athletes can use anything to anchor their body to the floor to hold on to in order to make this happen. They should focus on keeping the legs straight and then reaching the feet up as high as possible in this variation. The stimulus for today's workout is somewhat set because the work is set. We've got the same amount of reps each time. Really what we're trying to target here is making sure that we're trying to get that work done in roughly the same amount of time in each 3-minute window. So for today, what we're looking for is we'd like to get done all of that work, the 20, the 15, and the 10 in about 2 minutes. Now, over the course of this 18 minutes, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start with about a minute's worth of rest, and then we're probably gonna end somewhere with about 30 seconds as fatigue sets in and as the workout keeps moving forward. So if we're getting less than a minute's worth of rest on the front end, we should probably consider doing some sort of scaling, whether it be volume or whether it be changing some of the movements to make that workload appropriate. So again, we're targeting about 2 minutes to get all of the reps done. And the idea here is we should be getting rest. What we don't want to do is we don't want to turn this workout into an